Next, the night occupants of a residential park home site in North Devon contacted us saying sewage has been leaking onto their site for more than 2 years now. They say they're furious the problem hasn't been fixed by Wyldecrest Parks, the owners of the site, and that North Devon Council and the Environment Agency aren't helping either. We'll hear their responses in a moment, but first, Andrea Ormsby has been to meet 2 residents of the site near Wyldecrest.
It's become a ritual for these 2 residents of Bury Narber Park, the daily sewage check.
Well, I think the problem, Dave, is that
under the ground behind this wall lies the septic tank system, and the residents say with no rain for days, there's only one place this liquid is coming from.
Look what's pumping out here at the bottom. Absolutely beautiful stream of sewage. Lovely. And here it goes. And this wall here, the Niagara Falls one, there it is there, coming out. You can see it there, as plain as day. It's pouring down the wall again, absolutely pouring.
if the septic tank worked as it should, the water from the clean tank at the end of the system would be pumped up into the soakaway in the main field above the park. But because that pump never seems to work, because that water is never pumped away, it fills up, it overspills, it contaminates the area around the footpath, the walls, the driveway.
This is what we have faced all the time. All the time. When you listen to them videos, you'll hear my commentary. Sometimes I have to come down here, and when I take them, I have to put a cloth over my mouth for the smell and the flies. And I shouldn't have to be doing that at nearly 78 years old. I didn't come down here for that.
There are more than 50 homes here, and the residents pay around £150 a month to include site maintenance. They say they've been asking the owner to sort the sewage issue out for more than 2 years.
Today's the 1st of February. The holes that are leaking all the sewage, they're filled with foam. They've made no attempt to rectify the problem, i.e. the tank.
Every time we enter or leave the park, you can smell the smell of it, even if you're driving in your car with the windows up. In the summer, that smell gets a whole lot worse. We can't use the footpath at all, because if we did, we'd have to trudge through sewage and we would have to wade through clouds of flies. It is really revolting, and it is so off-putting. Our visitors, we're ashamed that our visitors see it when they come. We hate it, and we are finding it impossible to live with, but impossible to do something about.
They've gone to North Devon Council and the Environment Agency for help, but say nothing has changed.
They leave us languishing in a badly maintained park, which was at one time a paradise. It's now a complete nightmare.
Richard and David, both in their 70s, say they'll keep fighting to get paradise back. Andrea Ormsby, BBC Spotlight, Bury Narber.
Well, in response, Wyldecrest Parks, who own the site, acknowledged there are problems, but say they've spent more than £10,000 trying to resolve the issue, including hiring specialist contractors. They say the system is antiquated and blame interference from outside parties for making the situation worse, and say some of the issues are self-inflicted, such as wet wipes in the system and the pumps being removed by third parties. In a statement, North Devon Council said the current situation is clearly unsatisfactory. There is a level of technical complexity with this case which requires the council to take some further expert advice. We've also heard from the Environment Agency, who said, "We will be carrying out enforcement action with Wyldecrest Parks and ensuring a consent to discharge is applied for as soon as possible, and that the sewage system is able to cope with the sewage produced by the park."